So reportedly, Emilia Clarke and Alden Ehrenreich signed up for multiple Star Wars movies. Let's talk about it. Hello there. Welcome to another video. This is some news I found out regarding the Solo universe, kind of the Solo movie. So Emilia Clarke went on the Awards Chatter podcast with The Hollywood Reporter in 2018, and this is what she said about what she signed up for Solo. When talking about how some studios make you sign on for multiple movies, the interviewer asks, "Is that the case with Star Wars?" And she says, "Yes, but because it's one of their standalone movies, I have no idea how that will manifest itself. I think it's like an insurance thing," she says, that certain studios have where they have the option of doing that. So I know this news is like 7 years old now, but I just found out about it and I wanted to talk about it because I did some more research and I actually found out that Alden Ehrenreich also signed on for 3 films. And it makes sense that Disney would have them do that just in case their movie, does well in the box office. They can secure an actor for the next few years if they want to. So the actor doesn't get busy with other projects. But after Solo kind of bombed in the box office, there was minimal discussion about that. Both Emilia Clarke and Alden Ehrenreich have said this, but it quickly died, and there hasn't been talk about it for years. And it seems to me like a potential Solo 2 or a Crimson Dawn movie, starting where they left off with Darth Maul and Kira leading Crimson Dawn. There is a chance, but I think it is pretty low. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this, just kind of speculate where this would have gone and what my opinion of this is. So personally, I'm kind of against a Solo 2. I was for it in the past, but I think that the way that they ended the movie with, Han and Chewie out on their own, I think it very much completed the story perfectly. And I think that now with comics and novels and, there's enough of that out there to bridge the gap between Solo and A New Hope. At least when it comes to making another live action movie. I think it would be much wiser to make a series just based on the fact that it's Han and Chewie together, going on missions up until A New Hope. But I do think that a Crimson Dawn movie with Kira and Maul would have been great to have. And I'm pretty sure that's where they were going or planned to go if the movie had done well in the box office. But unfortunately, it didn't get to that. And they seem to have canceled any plans. But when it comes to Lando Calrissian, I couldn't find anything that said that he signed on for multiple films. But in 2020, Lucasfilm did announce that they were doing a Lando series, which has ultimately become a project that has been delayed multiple times, it looks like, because it's now 5 years later, and all we know is that Donald Glover and his brother are writing it, and it's going to be a movie instead of a series. Which I'm generally more for movies when it comes to stories about specific Star Wars characters, and I think a movie is much better and closes off stories very well. I think, for instance, Obi-Wan Kenobi could have been a better movie than a series. But there are certain types of stories that are done better as series. Like I just mentioned, I think any more stories involving younger Han and Chewbacca would probably do better as a series if they're going to go on multiple missions. Because the way that Solo ended, Kira going off, leading Crimson Dawn with Maul, and Han Solo and Chewbacca off on their own, I think it perfectly led up to a potential series. But I'm I'm kind of happy where it left off. I think it is cool to speculate what could have happened, but at the same time, it's kind of sad because, so many years later, it becomes less and less likely for Disney to make continuation of the Solo movie in any way, whether that be a Crimson Dawn movie or a Han and Chewbacca series, and even with the Lando movie that Lucasfilm seems to keep delaying because we haven't heard any news about it. And Donald Glover has other projects he's working on, and because he hasn't signed on for anything officially, and if he did, it has already been so many years after Solo that most likely any contract they had would be over by now. And obviously that is probably the same for Emilia Clarke and Alden Ehrenreich. But I'm always hopeful. I always say this. There is a chance, but I think it is pretty low. But I'm hopeful that at least we can get a Crimson Dawn movie. I think the way that Solo ended perfectly led off to what could have been an incredible start to a Crimson Dawn movie with Kira and Maul. And we are getting a Maul show next year, but it looks like it's going to be set 1 year after the Clone Wars, which would be roughly 5 years before the beginning of the Solo movie starts. And I'm particularly bummed out because I think Darth Maul I think he's overused in animation, and I would love to see more of him in live action. And I think the movie that we could have gotten with Kira in live action would have been cool to see. But that is all I have to say about that. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day. May the Force be with you.